'Twas a night fraught with terror. I'll never again tremble at tales of the Last Judgment or wince at depictions of the tortures of the damned. For hell has indeed been visited upon the earth, and it happened right here at the Charrington Asylum.
You overstate our misadventure, madame.
Do I? Or are you perhaps reluctant to confront the fact?
It was a skirmish, nothing more.
Your charge here is to bring order to an unruly hospital, and instead on your watch the patients revolt, setting their cots ablaze and hurling furniture from their cells. I myself saw a porcelain commode flung from the parapet. And what were the guards doing, I ask you? Stifling the fray? Ha! They were running for their very lives.
I hasten to assure you, as I assured the ministry and the police inspector before you, that harmony within our walls has been restored.
Oh, those St. Maurice turned out for the criminals. Your riot, sir, was the most scrupulously attended social affair since Madame Rougemont's summer cotillion. The Baron de Cordier stood peering through the iron gates in hopes of catching a glimpse of the Fuhrer within. Madame Bouchival made her coachman stop and scramble for her telescope, and what did they see? Oh, doctor, sights so depraved and bizarre I can barely find the words to describe them.
I have a sinking feeling you'll rise to the occasion.
Crazed women hiking their skirts to the heavens and pawing at their own nudity. Men with vacant eyes and frothy mouths, their trousers about their ankles swinging their attributes like pendulums. And who, sir, was the conductor of this demonic orchestra, the ringmaster of this Luciferian circus? Who? My husband, of course!
It seems he treated the patients to an oral recitation. They were regrettably, let's say, overstimulated by its content.
Overstimulated? They are hanging out the windows, polluting themselves. Charrington became a body house, a brothel for the feeble-minded. A cat house for the loons! He's done it! The Marquis has at long last broken my heart. I can feel it in my breast, cleft in twain. I must have smelling salts, a glass of water, absinthe, anything, Dr. Quickly!
Be careful, Marquise, you'll singe your membranes.
Oh, his little fable traveled far. One of your wards told the cook told his wife, she told the cobbler, and so on ad infinitum. Even now the story is lumbering toward Paris like some carnivorous humpbacked beast. Who knows what lascivious behavior it leaves in its wake?
My chief worry is not for Charrington, madame, or for France, but for you. I know what ridicule you've borne on his behalf.
Don't patronize me, Doctor. I hold you in no esteem than my husband.
Me? But why?
Last night's episode was completely avoidable if only you'd remain true to our contract.
I beg your pardon.
Was it your immediate intention to swindle me, or did the plot dawn on you slowly over time like a gathering thunder?
I'm afraid I don't follow.
At your insistence, sir, I provided the funds necessary for a host of refurbishments. 33 brass hospital beds, each fitted with restraints. 12 branding irons, a bed of nails, a set of steel-tipped martinets, and finally, a St. Andrew's cross. And have you purchased even a single item? No!
Madame, I can assure you with the utmost sincerity that every franc you've given me has been put to sterling use.
Perhaps I have a suspicious mind, but that your surgery struck in on a sudden edge of town.
What of it?
People talk. Mirrors made from Venetian glass, walls covered in shining silk, a ball straight silver from a Russian house.
Surely you recognize that my success in these hallways is contingent upon my comfort, and that my comfort in turn depends upon my surroundings. Every ounce of mortar spread, every stone laid, every molded crest abutting, every window frame hastens your husband's recovery.
You must admit it's odd. Your poor hospital can't even afford a willing host, and all the while from a Grecian divorce.
I am appalled, madame, that a woman of your standing would stoop to such crass innuendo.
I will reward you with a king's ransom, or someone has his fingers in my bill.
You would enter into my office, sally up to my desk, and accuse me of common thievery?
Good heavens, sir! Impudent! Shame! Bold, but never common.
This office has been host to the most caustic of minds. Still, I have never been so insulted.
I urge you to take concrete action to silence my husband, or expect a second visit from my lawyer of a far graver nature than the first. Good day, sir.
The fire in the belfry has been doused. We quieted the horses in their stables, and the patients are firmly strapped back into their beds. Call me a fool, doctor, but I do hope you've summoned me here this morning to relay good news.
You're a fool.
Touché.
Your failure has cost an innocent life.
I beg your pardon.
The seamstress, Madeleine Leclerc.
Madeline? Dead?
Last night in the melee, the inmate Bouchon burst the confines of his cell and tortured the poor child until she expired. She was discovered this morning, hung like a newly splayed carcass in the laundry. It seems as if Bouchon was so taken with the Marquis's tale that he chose to reenact it. With admirable fidelity to the author. Every laceration, every swath of the blade.
Poor Madeline, who spent her last hours at the mercy of that ham-fisted brute, that ogre.
We mustn't blame Bouchon. After all, if he possessed restraint, conscience, morality, he'd have no need of us, would he? No, the fault lies elsewhere, I'm afraid.
Of course.
It is our duty, is it not, to protect malleable minds from pernicious influence?
I suppose it is.
To admonish the individual when his habits impinge upon the safety of the whole.
Yes, doctor.
And when we falter at this charge,
Bedlam, sir, and death.
I seem severe to you. Tyrannically, then, it is because we owe our charges nothing less. We must provide for them what they cannot muster for themselves. Dominion over the beast within.
You will excuse me, doctor, it was an endless night.
How many more tragedies must befall Sheraton before you embrace your duty here?
My head has yet to touch a pillow, my lips to taste a meal.
Would that you had seen the poor girl's mother, her face stained with tears, her eyes glazed, uncomprehending. I thank God for her blindness that she was spared the sight of her poor daughter's riddled corpse.
I'll make reparation to the family.
There's another matter you'd better tend to first.
Yes, of course.
Might I suggest a stroll down the West Wing? Take a look in the operating theater. You'll find everything you need there.
But that room has been locked for 20 years.
The douche chair, the brazier slab, the fustigator, the Procrustean bed, and the abdominal wagon. They're all at your disposal, babe.
This sounds less like a hospital, doctor, and more akin to a chamber of horrors.
How perceptive.
Knowing my disposition towards such cruel measures, must I must have the key to that room, doctor. I have lost it, misplaced by.
When you lay your head upon the pillow tonight, babe, beg God's forgiveness for the death of poor Madeline. You shan't have mine!
Suppose one of your precious walls had attempted to walk on water and drown. Would you condemn the Bible? I think not.
Himself and
Who might be held responsible for the actions of every half
the
here.
man who loads the cannon and the man who fires it are both.
It was fiction. It was not intended. It is how to castigate from show.
A man's an overgrown child.
Also, the tale of my writing for you was
still writing at all.
my writer cannot answer for it as all he is. This is the book. The experience of art. My little bull's pizzle. It's a glamorous affair. The author provides the stimuli, his reader the response. All I can control is the art itself. My subject comes from life and told with an eye toward truth, or at least truth as life has taught me to perceive it. And you must concede, sweetums, that life has taught me some very scabrous tidbits indeed. And so I record them, dutifully, as any writer should. But the response to my work, Poodle, that's a fickle thing indeed. It may be prompted by the reader's race, his sex, his politics, the potency of the beer he drank with dinner, the angle of his bed, even the last time he diddled his wife. In short, variables well beyond the scope of the artist. What would you have me do? Police my readers the way you police
You
me?
wish to know the sub-impact of your
Break
work
down!
upon the public?
The instant people die off to deny the gratification of a concrete response to their toilings. I am blessed, am I not?
I labored under the misconception that you cared something for the young girl, that in some dark, crusted, corroded corner of your heart,
She was flirtatious, to me and to others.
you do yourself no credit by pursuing this line.
Her breasts heaving under popping. Her ass like two melons bobbling at the bottom of the
Dare
sack.
start on this course.
Who shuns done soul favor by nipping temptation in the bud.
No secret, Marquis, that you want.
Ah!
Many a time you tore open your top coat to secure her service.
Rubbish!
You bartered paint.
Who told you this?
Go with
She
Worship
flattered herself, I suppose.
Do her flatter.
I wanted to fuck her, that's all.
Did you?
It is not your province to ask.
You're no stranger to rape, Marquis. And yet with her you courted, you cooed,
Go,
you
hell.
begged. Why was it you never took her by force?
Who's to say I did not?
Was it impotent?
Never.
Was it polite doubt?
The only witnesses, Madeline herself, and her lips and her body are sealed.
Was it humane regard, or was it love?
I fucked her 1,000 times with pneumatic force.
We inspected the body, Marquis. She died intact.
See to it that she receives a proper burial. In the churchyard at my expense. I implore you, do not inter her sweet body in the same ground as the devils and the madman would have its accursed place.
Your terrible secret revealed. You are a man after all. All that remains now is your punishment.
Your lily mind cannot compete with mine in that department.
For that I am grateful.
What frightful torture have you devised, kid?
I have knelt in the chapel and consorted with God. I have asked him if I am justified in my measures, and he has assured me that I am.
What will it be, my little dictator?
Blood has been spilled, and regrettably I must spill more to stem its ruby tide.
The logic of a true warrior. Congratulations.
Don't deride me, murderer.
Well, don't keep me in suspense. 50 lashes, a knife on the rack.
Tonight you will be visited by me.
You have the stomach, haven't you?
I have authorized the procedure myself.
You haven't the ball!
It's my sad duty to
Run.
these
Weeping. Cry. Up in your office, buoyed by your cronies. It was easy to devise my undoing, wasn't it? Wasn't it? A regular parlor game. Each of you chopping like giddy magpies. Solitary confinement. Perhaps we'll dock his dessert. Maybe a good spanking. Ouch! But now, face to face with your victim, you're turning soft. After all, I'm not some stranger. I'm your friend, the Marquis. I dare you stab my flesh, which one of us will bleed? I knew it.
Tonight, you will be visited by the surgeon. He will cut out your tongue.
And surely you'll crack me a pint of wood.
Of course.
I didn't forge the minute man. Your precious God did that. Cramming it full of rancor and bloodlust. Like Zeus, thrusting all those winged demons into the tiny confines of Pandora's box. Don't hate me just because I turned the key and let them loose. Fly, my darlings, fly! All the way to heaven till you burst the clouds and blacken the sky.
I don't hate you, Marquis. More's to pity.
Avez-vous,
Yes.
Snip, snip, snip. Would that I was so easily silenced.
Most esteemed Dr. Royer, at long last, your chateau is complete. You'll find everything in its assigned place. The chintz draperies, the English bell pulls, even the ivory doorstops. Only one detail is missing. Your wife!
Oh, you obsequious men. Underneath all that scraping and bowing, you're such rolls.
It would seem that no matter how splendid her surroundings, she cannot resist the urge to cuckold her husband.
Tell him I am no fool. A prison's still a prison, with or without wainscoting and baccarat chandeliers.
And so, I have pirated Marguerite away to a safe haven.
Oh, tell him if he uncovers our whereabouts, you'll slit your wrists with a razor and I'll plunge a hat pin through my heart.
Oh, Marguerite, you do that rather than forsake our love.
No, but tell him I would.
Oh, I don't think you really love me at all, Marguerite, but merely wish to use me to your own convenient ends as a vehicle to escape your husband's too.
You're brighter than you look. Now, right!
A hat pin through my heart.
Now sign it quickly, and then carry me upstairs so you can ravish me again on the linens for which you so dearly pay.
Oh, yes, Marguerite, yes.
Oh, we'll stay in the bedding. We'll dab in the chemise and the puddles of love all over the coverlet.
On the satin quill. Oh, please, on the teakwood floor in the salon. And I beg you, as a crowning gesture, on the salon rug in the foyer. Jean-Pierre, Pruy.
The architect of your unhappy fate.
The surgeon completed his grim task as the sun was about to rise. So violent were the Marquis's protestations, he only prolonged his own pain. I have, as you requested, proof of our success. His tongue, doctor. So long and serpentine I had to roll it round a dowel. Now, our grisly business is concluded. We'll no longer have to wield the scalpel against the Marquis or any ward.
Are you aware that even the patients laugh at you behind your back?
What?
How can they look to you as their savior when you inspire ridicule in lieu of respect?
Dr. O'Eagle, I have fulfilled my duties and beyond. I stood, sir, at the surgeon's side, holding the Marquis fast to his chair, my head swimming, my knees weak, all in the service of Charenton. Now I refuse to be further baited or debased.
Are you aware of the condition of his room?
His room? Words! Words?
Words everywhere, on the ceiling, written on the walls, etched on the floors. A phantasmagoria of words.
Oh no!
In his unmistakable script.
But how?
He spat into his excrement, and thus formed a type of paint. Finally, a medium worthy of his art. With his fingers, like a child, he decorated the room with language.
Has he no shred of decency?
I mustered the patience to follow its scrawl and found this dense verbiage contained a story.
So the stench of this tale is twofold.
It plunges so deeply into the acrid chambers of man's aching heart that even the angels are left to weep and the saints to gasp for air.
Don't make me read it, I beg you.
And now, at last, an innocuous tale, Psalm of perversion, designed to appease my puritanical captive.
The hollow promise offered so the story's final twist will shock us all more.
Monsieur Lepage was hopelessly smitten by a pretty young maid named Marie Duplay. He'd long sought her hand in marriage, but each time he proposed, she refused. In hopes of winning her love, Monsieur Lepage employed the services of a famous tailor. You must design a wedding gown, he told the tailor, of such sumptuousness and splendor that for the privilege of wearing, Marie will become my bride. The tailor bid Marie choose from a host of fabrics. Kind sir, she cried, I wish to try them all. Finally, she alighted on a royal velvet, more costly than a pot de soie or Belgian lace. The tailor drove his needle through the soft fabric, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Until the dress was done, Marie slipped it on before the glass. The gorgeous gown softened her brittle heart, and so she consented to wed.
That's it? That's all?
Voila! Happily ever after! The end!
But there's no debauch, no nefarious carousal.
Don't you see? He's trumped us. He's masked his obscenity with metaphor.
He has?
Monsieur Lepage wants to win the heart of a winsome young thing, so what does he do? He unwittingly hires his own rival.
He does?
Of course, the tailor!
Tailor?
I can just see the two of them. Marie, all dewy and pink in her crinolines. The tailor, measuring tape in hand, pulling it taut across her heaving breasts.
Does the Marquis provide such description?
No! He's become far too skillful for that. He leaves us hanging with a few vague phrases. He leaves us to supply our own salacious tale.
But that's preposterous. This is nothing but a sentimental romance. As toothless as it is predictable.
Don't you see, Abbé? Don't be naive. It ripples with innuendo. Note Marie's fickle nature. She can't pick one fabric. No, she must try them all. A sly allusion to her promiscuity. She's clearly an nymphomaniac. as inconstant in her taste in men as she is in clothing.
She is?
And mark her exorbitance! Royal velvet! How, pray tell, is Lafarge to afford such luxury? She means to ruin him, drive him into a life of crime, embezzlement perhaps, or fraud.
I fear, Doctor, you strayed too far from the source.
Pick any line of text, and beneath its harmless veneer, you'll find nothing but sin and degeneracy. Go ahead. I dare you.
The tailor drove his needle through the soft fabric, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out.
Aha! There, you see?
Oh my God, it's plain as day, isn't it?
Copulation.
What are two well-chosen words, and you can almost see them coupling,
Riding like a pair of dogs, her robust eyes parted.
crevice revealed.
The battering of his mighty ram.
Lips of reversible cavity.
The soft, insistent slapping of skin against skin.
Shrieks as he plunges deep into the warm sepulchre of her woman flesh.
It's all there of a lurking beneath his seemingly flaccid prose. The poltroon! Exhaustion overtook the Marquis, and so his script tapers. But surely he arrived at Story's conclusion.
Again?
Once when the young bride abandons her husband and decamps with her rapist.
No.
The strumpet! The scurrilous little tramp! She ought to be boiled! She ought to be hoisted on a pike!
Surely we could posit other outcomes.
In the world of the Marquis, what other possibilities exist? Only catastrophe. Poor gullible Lafarge. He offered everything to the duplicitous little snip. His unwavering devotion, high social station, an opulent home, no doubt, with Italian tile, and a garden full of imported tulips. And what did she proffer instead? Nothing but heartache.
Now Lafarge is left alone. His love lost. His reputation beyond repair.
His very post in jeopardy.
I can't help but notice that this particular tale has affected you more than the rest.
Loath as I am to admit it, as a result of his persistence, the Marquis's writing has improved. It now boasts a certain prescience it lacked before. You may pack your bag with a carriage awaits to take you a long distance from San Luis.
What's this?
I've arranged for your reassignment to a monastery in Avignon. There, rather than tending the insane, we'll transcribe huge Latin codes by candlelight.
With no warning, Doctor? No chance for reprieve?
I am submitting my own resignation to the ministry, effective immediately.
You too, Doctor?
It's preemptive, eh? I was entrusted to forge order from chaos here, and what has ensued since my arrival? Nothing but murder and mayhem, events which regrettably do little to enhance my curriculum vitae. I have chosen to resign gracefully, rather than to have my position wrested from me in what would surely prove to be a definitive study in the art of humiliation.
But what of Sharonton?
I am recommending to the ministry that her doors be closed forever.
Why, I beseech you?
We don't govern Sharonton, he does. We flatter ourselves his superiors, but we dangle from his street.
What of the patients? They have no place to go, no means with which to clothe or nourish themselves.
Let them be loosed upon the streets. They've learned the Marquis's maxims. Now let them live by his commandments. Let them kill for their trousers. Let them rip bread and meat from the hands of children.
Don't you see? To admit defeat is to to endorse this philosophy.
Then so be it.
I cannot and will not accept these terms. He has yet to conquer me.
That's enough of a now go before the coachman leaves without you.
The principles we espouse here, the ideals we embrace are the very rudiments of Christian thought, that they have weathered the centuries and cast the world in its present shape. And the Marquis, he's just a pustule on the face of history, while you stand him on a pedestal next to Christ, and you will see he is a beauty creature. Oh, I implore you, give me one more chance. I must see him quelled, otherwise I won't again have the courage to face the glass.
Very well, since you insist.
I offer all my gratitude and place my reputation at your feet.
Hold fast to your noble purpose, to avenge the death of a helpless child, to preserve the sanctity of Sherrington,
to keep our gates open and our chambers full.
Go then, now, and do as your heart commands.
A verbose insult, Marquis. The crude sniping of a jaded bombast. Cruel satire of conventional mores. And all masked as a harmless love story? This time, Python, you won't slither past. The story's true tone lies between the lines, not in them. That's plain to see, my friend. What do you take me for? A dolt? I swore I would confiscate your influence with a little light. Now place your hands upon the bars. On the bars now! 10 venomous quills, each dripping its own poison. What else might you employ as your styles? Tell me you'll put a stick in your mouth and I will have each more apart. Your toes, perhaps, and I will crack each one from their joints. And yes, oh yes, lest we forget, your tireless tool, which when engorged might play the role of glue. That I will circle around it here and rip from its fleshy moorings. Well, sir, tell me. A last request. A dying man's plea. Well, what is it then? Take my manhood last, that I might savor the torture till the end.